it seemed like there were moments where that intensity kind of ramped up, and then the Storm would maybe go on a run, and again that intensity would attempt to be ramped up. Um, what do you attribute that to? Was energy just low today, or?
I don't know. But we definitely didn't look like a team that wanted to compete like consistently, and it was hard to watch. And I mean, I don't know how good of a coach I am to actually coach effort. So I'm probably not that good, honestly. And so I was a little disappointed in the effort that we gave. Like his energy is another thing, but you can tell the team that we were playing were desperate and they were playing for something. And I don't know if we play for something. And every time you got to come out, you have to play for something because you don't get these games back. Like you never get a game back. Once the game is over, it's over. And the way I try to live life is I don't want to have regrets. And so if I fall on my face, it's because I'm going too fast. And you can't do that if you're going slow and cautiously. The only thing is you're going to miss the time to take off and fly. And I felt like we just waited and can't happen again. So just can't. I trust him. So I gave him the night. I didn't really, I'm not really worried or, but if I see that again, I'll start to be concerned. I'm pissed though, really pissed. So, yeah.
Hey, Coach. Gabby Williams had one of her best games of the season. I mean, how much has she improved, like since she left Chicago, and also just like what were you seeing from her where she was being?
I don't know. I just saw her last few games, so I don't know how much she's improved.
I mean, can you just talk a little bit about how disruptive she was on the defensive end tonight? Because she just seemed to bring a lot of.
I thought she scored baskets, but I thought we let her get to her strengths. Yeah. Not going to give you what you're looking for. So she had a good game. Yeah.
James, you mentioned the one-on-one defense as being one of the main concerns that you had tonight. When you're this close to the playoffs, trying to prep for that, what do you think is kind of your main focus of what needs to be improved in that defense, especially against one of the top competitors like the Storm?
We just have to take pride in getting down in the stance and you can't worry about who's helping you or not. You just got to stop the person who's in front of you. Because I've told you that you're going to get $1 million every time you can stop that person. Like Amber's right there. And if I can stop Amber, I get $1 million. Then I'm going to do everything it takes. And I'm not going to worry who's on my left side or my right side. And that's what you got to do. And Amber, if they gave me $1 million, I would stop you. I swear. Yeah. I got 2 bad Achilles though. All right, we're good then. Give me that $1 million.
We'll go Steven in the second row.
What's going on, Coach?
My man.
So of course, a big part of your identity is the defense, and how you guys typically dictate things from that end. Of course,
no mirrors. There was no mirrors in the room today, buddy. I don't know what that identity come from. There was no mirrors around to let me know that was my identity because I couldn't see it.
But a big part of your identity is the consistent playmaking and the consistent ball movement. You guys had your second highest assist total of the season with 30 today.
Yeah.
Do you find solace in knowing that you guys at least held up your end of the bargain, to your typical standard on that end?
I mean, we offensively, man, we all right, like we shot 56%. That means you hold them to 50. Like I think they shoot 44 for the season. Now that's probably shot up. They shoot 44% from the season. You hold them to 50. Just get them down to 50. And you give yourselves a chance to win. But once you start like looking around and, like worried about this and that and not really focusing on like the person in front of you and their strengths, Gabby was able to get to her strengths, Tina, her strengths, like everybody that played, and once you do that, like But they're hurt. Like they don't like looking like that, especially in front of the crowd, and the crowd like giving all that energy. You know, you have to respect that energy and give it back. Like it's just bouncing off. That means you're just taking it in and just sucking it in and ain't giving it out. Like that's not nice. We got to be a nicer team. You know, give it back to them. Had all my frat brothers out here. Greek night, man.
And then so leading into the next game for Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
is there any like tweaks in preparation or as far as like watching film or anything that you'll take away from this game to apply to the next game and of course
yeah, you gotta have so much pride in your matchup. Like that's it. You have to have pride in your matchup. Like maybe it's my fault because we have all this good chemistry and we like playing with each other and for each other. Maybe we lean on each other a little too much. So I did that. So maybe it's my fault. Like thinking about it, like, yeah, we're a good team. We have good culture, good chemistry, but at some point it's something individual about you stopping the person in front of you. Like that's what we have to do against the next team that we play. We got to do that against Vegas. And so that's what we have to do. Like keep on point. Amber's in front of me right now. Got to have pride about that. Like pride. And I'm really like proud of myself because I'm pissed and I haven't cursed yet. My mom saw this and she's like, the next time you curse, it's not going to be a technical you're going to get. So, but I'm really mad and I think we have to have more pride and we have not. So, yeah. And we have to do that against Vegas. And the teams that slow them down, the Washingtons, the teams that slow them down, they have players that take pride in matchups, like defensive matchups. Elizabeth Williams, Natasha Cloud, Alicia Clark, all those players, they take pride in the matchups. And we have those type of players, but we didn't have it tonight. And I think we have to have those. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see.
Hey, Coach, with all that being said, at the conclusion of the game, you addressed the crowd and it really sounded like that you were expressing hope and optimism as you go into Thursday and then beyond into the playoffs. Is that the sentiment that you expressed to the team afterwards, that even though there was a lot of disappointment, certainly that you still felt optimistic about what lies ahead?
No, I mean, I trust him. There's a lot of trust there. But and I can tell them whatever, but my granddad used to say, I can show you better than I can tell you. So I need them to show me, like, better than saying it, like, we'll be there. So it's not on me to give the effort, or like, I need them to show me. So I told the crowd, and the crowd could have came right back to me, well, show me better than you can tell me. Yeah. I need us to show it, and we have to have a sense of urgency and, yeah, all that good stuff.
James, before the game, you talked about Rebecca and, possibly being a 6th player of the year contender. And today, especially in that third quarter, she kind of had that bit where she went on a run. I was just wondering, from what you've seen working with her, what allows her to kind of be that spark sometimes where she is able to kind of get in and give that galvanizing presence off of the bench, especially in games where maybe the opposing team's making a run?
Yeah, she was good. And she helps us out so much. And maybe I could have gave her some more minutes tonight. I'll go back and watch the game. But when we have like dead stances like we have tonight, you need a player like that. And maybe I could have found ways. She was a +5 for the game. Z was a +6 and Julie was a +4. So, I'll go back and look at how, and it wasn't really our offense. We were scoring when we wanted to. Like we scored 100 points just because we had to take the ball out. And like I'll look at it, but I think that maybe nights like this is probably when Rebecca puts pressure on everybody else to kind of bring them with her instead of her following everybody else's lead. So yeah, I'll look at it. And I'll fix that part.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. Thanks, guys. Amber, I'm stopping you every time.
All right, next matches.
All right. Got you.
We'll have Rebecca Gardner and Courtney Vandersloot next. Hey, obviously you have a quick turnaround and you face another explosive offensive team in this league. So what has to be the biggest takeaway from this loss today defensively?
I think Seattle was hitting a lot of shots, but I also think it's good that it's happening now so we can prepare for the playoffs and even for Vegas. So we just have to look back, watch film, and it's going to be more like mentally watching film and stuff like that. And then making the proper changes and then going into Vegas and applying it to the game.
Hey, Rebecca. When a team, I mean, at one point they were hitting like over 66% of their shots. I mean, how much can you take away from when they're hitting like not at a historical rate, but a rate that it would be like unseen if played out for an entire season?
Yeah, they were hitting a lot of shots. They were wide open though, a lot of them, and I think that if we can do a better job of like the initial action and staying in front of the ball, then they won't get those wide open shots. So they did hit a lot of shots, but there's things we could do before that to prevent or make it a little tougher for them.
And what was James's message to the team after the game? I mean, was there anything that, I mean, he had some sort of strong words, but I mean, did he say anything to the team that, that you all are going to take into account 48 hours from now when you play Vegas?
Yeah, we know Vegas is going to be, it's not going to be easy, but he just said we have to take accountability, and we all know we have to. So we know what we need to do. And like I said, told Danny, like we just need to go out there and do it against Vegas.
Hi, Rebecca. Julia Poe with the Chicago Tribune. James, kind of building on what you were saying, James had specifically isolated that he was a little frustrated with the team's one-on-one defense today. And he said that he just felt like the effort necessarily wasn't there. Did you feel anything different in the way that you felt like yourself, your teammates were kind of approaching that one-on-one, or anything that Seattle was doing to make that more difficult?
I think they came out intentionally being aggressive, and I think we didn't expect that. But I think that during the game, we need to adjust. Like if they start off aggressive like that, then it's like, okay, we need to make the effort to stop those straight line drives. So yeah, I don't think anyone was intentionally trying to get beat, but we just need to make the adjustments during the game instead of after the game looking back and saying, oh, like we could have, or waiting too late to do it.
We'll go to Cheryl and then Steven.
Hey.
Rebecca, sometimes at the end of a season like this, when you don't have a lot to play for, you kind of do for home court advantage. Was this a wake-up call?
A wake-up call? I wouldn't say it's a wake-up call. We know what we need to do. So, Seattle played great tonight. I don't know what the percentages were, but they hit a lot of shots. So, I wouldn't say it's a wake-up call, but I would say that this is a good game where we can tell that, going back to back is not going to be easy. We're going to have to go out there and work for it, and it's not going to be handed to us. So yeah, but we'll be fine. We're going to bounce back next game.
So instead of a wake-up call, it's kind of like a lesson learned?
Yes, I would say that.
Thank you.
Steven, second row.
Hey, Rebecca, do you feel like defensively, was there anything like that Seattle did specifically that kind of kept you guys consistently in rotation, or was it just kind of a lack of effort thing that you felt like it was more so from you all?
I think that if our effort was there, I think it wouldn't have been as easy for them. But I would say that they probably watched some of our games too and saw where maybe they could attack us and made some adjustments because we did beat them last game. So now it's our turn to make some adjustments.
Zachary, first row.
Hey, Rebecca, you all were 15 for 21 from the free throw line, 71.4%, and they were 100% from the free throw line. So I'm wondering when it comes to making those adjustments, if making free throws is a huge component of that.
Making free throws, I mean, those are freebies, so those are definitely something that I think it's about focus and but it's just we're gonna be in practice and at the end of practice we work on that. So I mean maybe we shot 70% today, but I always try to think that the percentages balance out. So maybe we missed today, but when in the playoffs when it really matters, I know like we'll knock them down.
All right, thanks, Becca.
Okay.
We'll be back with Lou. Hey, so Rebecca just talked about the fact that the Storm came out and were aggressive right away, and that was maybe something that defensively you guys weren't expecting and didn't adjust well to. But the Aces are a team that also come out and hit very quickly, punch hard right away. So what's the biggest adjustment y'all need to make before Thursday's game?
Well, I think the first 5 minutes we were kind of back and forth. Of course, they were aggressive, but I think we played them well the first 5 minutes, if I remember right. But yeah, they just kept going, and it felt like they weren't missing. They were just shooting into the ocean. But we have to make things difficult for them. And this is a team that if they're comfortable, they have a lot of weapons. They're going to make reads. They're going to make the right play, as they did tonight. And we just didn't dictate anything all night. They were just playing. It seemed just like 5-on-0 out there.
Hey, Courtney. The Storm are one of the better transition teams in the league, and excuse me. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah. Was the game plan tonight trying to slow them down? It seemed like they were picking up the pace a little bit more, like after the first 2-3 minutes, to try to stop you guys from getting set on the defensive end.
Yeah, we knew that they played at a high pace. They play a lot of drags and ball screens. I mean, they're difficult to guard, and we knew that. And we just didn't do a good enough job of guarding them. That was it. I mean, we scored 100 points. How do we score 100 points and not win? It's all defense, and it was too easy for them. And we got to go back to the drawing board and figure out why it was so easy. Because I think we played hard. I don't think that we were out there not. I think the effort was there. But it it was just too easy for them.
Courtney, Julia Poe, the Chicago Tribune. Obviously a result you weren't happy with tonight, but you and Sue were in that matchup all night. People have been talking about it all season, but just kind of what is it like being in some of these last games with her on the court? Just kind of what has that experience been like for you being across from her tonight?
Yeah, it just doesn't feel real. It's like you don't know WNBA without Sue in it. So, it's bittersweet, I guess. She's had an amazing career. We've had a great matchups. Today she was able to get the win. So, but it's cool. It's cool to be a part of this and be a part of her career. Even just a small part because she is one of the best to ever do it. And she's still doing it at a really high level. So it feels weird that she's retiring. But yeah.
How you doing, Courtney? So I know a lot of the attention is on the defense and how you guys want to be back to your typical standard on that end. But on the offensive end, as you mentioned, you guys scored 100 points. And you guys, between you, Candace, and Emma, this is the second game in a row where you guys have had 5+ assists each. So can you speak to like the flow that you guys are operating in offensively, even independent of what's going on the defensive end?
Yeah. I think that this is kind of those days that we've been talking about all season is all of us putting it together offensively. We are playing at a really high level. I think we shot 55%. I mean, against a really good defensive team. Seattle is they've been known for that. So we got to keep that going, keep building off of it. That's how we what we established early in the season. We just needed to kind of put it all together. Unfortunately, that didn't help us tonight, but like I said, we're going to continue to build. We got another 2 really important games coming up, so we'll just look to continue that.
And then, so speaking to playing with the 2 post playmakers that you guys have, today you had your season best in field goal attempts at the rim and makes. So can you just speak to how just opening the floor, playing with those players, like being able to cut back door, do things without creating for yourself, just how opening that is for you guys offensively?
Yeah, well, I think that's our mindset is that we have, like you said, 2 really good playmakers, but when you put all 5 of us together, we have a lot of playmakers on the floor, and we're just trying to get the easiest shot possible. I'm trying to get into the paint. Good things seem to happen. I think we are one of the best in the paint points, and that's something that we really strive for is to get in the paint and make plays. It's nice for me. I getting wide open layups basically because we have 2 of the best passing posts in the league. So it's incredible to play with those 2. They just don't make them like that anymore, Any questions for Sloop? All right. Thanks, Sloop. Thank you, everyone.